Hey guys, Soulard here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Masterverse Masters of the Universe Revelation Beastman. That's right, I finally got a hold of a figure from Wave 2 of this line. Not sure what's up with the distribution on these guys, but I gotta tell you, it straight up sucks. There you go. But before we get into the meat and taters of this review, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mr. Eltenda. I will leave a link in the description below to his channel. And don't worry, I'll actually put the freaking link there. I won't be lazy. That would be lame. So go check him out. He's into all kinds of cool stuff. Masters of the Universe, Punisher, guns if you're into that too. He's into all kinds of cool stuff, so go check him out. Highly recommend it. Oh, and he also got the Toy Biz Danny Ketch Ghost Rider figure from a toy show recently, so he's a Ghost Rider fan, so that means he's cool, right? Damn right it does. But at any rate, getting into the meat and taters of this review, Beastman comes with a bunch of hands. Comes with 2 fist hands, 2 claw hands, and 2 grip hands. So that is cool. Getting an email. But at any rate, this is Beastman, how he appears in part 1 of Masters of the Universe Revelation. Now, episode 3 onward in Masters of the Universe Revelation part 1, that is. And I gotta tell ya, I really dig this figure. And I'm happy to say, I think, knock on wood, they fixed the hip issues on these figures. I say that because this guy's hips, much like the Faker I took a look at way last month, really easy to move. Look at that. I didn't have to lube these up. So, you know what? This is probably now my second favorite figure in the line, because I always liked Beastman more than Faker. And while Faker was fun, I love this Beastman, man. He's super cool. Can we get a 2000X Beastman using some of these parts? Please and thank you. It's the 20th anniversary next year. Would be kind of sweet. But at any rate, articulation on this guy. His head will look around. And he does have his beard going on. His hipster beard. You could tilt his head up and down. He's got some really natural side-to-side movement, too. You can spin it, but he can also look side-to-side. A little bit, not a ton. He's got this tuft of hair on the top. I'd say if anything, it seems like his upper torso could have been a little thicker, but it's not that big a deal. His shoulders go out to the side pretty good. Back down. They move forward and back. And, yeah, I almost thought they were kind of sticky before, but I guess not. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got double-jointed elbow. Ooh, a little tight on that bottom one. Let's see if we can pop that. There we go. So you get pretty good range out of that. I will say it would be nice if he had the up and down tilt in the hand, but he's got a whip. Doesn't really matter. But you can hinge it in and out. You can rotate it around. He's got real string on his whip. And I'm not taking this out. This is kind of a pain in the butt to get in there. But it's very similar to most Beastman whips. It's got the little kind of wrist guard on the front, or knuckle guard. It's got some spikes on it. Or, no, these are just kind of indentation thingamajiggers. Notches. It's got little notches on it. Looks cool. I'm probably going to keep him with like 1 claw hand so we can slash someone's face off. Or maybe I'll switch it to a fist. I don't know. His torso crunches a little bit. Still doesn't seem to have any rotation up there, which is kind of weird. But you can crunch it forward. You could tilt it side to side. Works fine. No. It kind of feels like it's got a little bit of wiggle, but not a ton. It's nothing to write home about, but it definitely feels like he's got more of a wiggle up there than some of the figures. He's got a waist swivel. He's got a little loop on his belt, which I can only assume is for his whip to store in. He's got an in and out at the hip. Forward and back works flawlessly. Thigh cut, double joint at the knee works really well. Swivel at the lower leg, and yes, these are tufts of fur on the back. I thought they were shin guards, so I was trying to get them this way, but nope. my dad pointed out, that's fur, so keep it that way, dumbass. And then he's got a hinge in the foot with a rocker. So, really cool figure. Stands pretty tall. I'm curious how big he is next to the other characters. I feel like he's not going to be too monstrously big. I kind of like Beastman to be like huge. All roided out. I will say I do like the sculpt on this guy. I just think maybe it could have been twice as big. But we'll see how he compares to the other figures in just a moment here. It's going to take me a sec to get you to stand, isn't it? Yeah, his foot's bent forward. I think this figure's probably meant to be posed a little bit haunched over. But I want to get like the full height for the size comparison, just to give you guys a better idea of how tall this figure is, because he seems a lot bigger than the rest of this line. So we'll have to take a look-see at that. But at any rate, speaking of which, I think now it is time for us to take a look at some comparisons. First up here is Beastman, next to his Origins counterpart, based more off the traditional design of Beastman. You can see just how different this new version is. And I gotta tell you, I really dig the redesign of Beastman here. I like the war paint, the dreads, and all that. I think it looks really cool. Or the braids. Is it braids or is it dreads? Either way, I think it looks cool. And then we have the last Masterverse figure I took a look at. We got the Deluxe Faker. And yeah, he seems a bit short, Beastman, but you know what? I'll let it slide. I still really like this figure. Up next, here he is next to his Empress! Evil Lyn, of course, who I have to say, her Part 2 outfit is definitely compensating for how kind of boring and generic the Part 1 one was. I mean, have you seen that trailer yet? If not, you need to. She's got a freaking Warduke helmet! But at any rate, we also have Skeleton, which I still think is my favorite figure from this line, because I'm going to be biased towards Skeletor. Let's be honest here. I love skulls. I love dudes with skull heads. I love evil dudes with skull heads even more. And he just fits all those bills. So, at any rate, Beastman scales a little bit better with these two. I think Skeletor is slightly shorter than the Faker was, and Evil Lyn is, of course, going to be shorter than that. So, Beastman looks a little bit larger here, but I still think he could have been just a smidge taller. Maybe like 1/4 of an inch. If you want to get extreme, 1/2 an inch. He looked pretty big in the show. And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythical Legion's brother Mandibulus, and the MK11 Spawn, who is taller than Beastman. God dang it, Spawn. But at any rate, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, while this figure may not be everyone's cup of tea because it's not the MOTU Classics Beastman or the classic version of Beastman, I'm going to go out and say that this is my favorite Beastman figure that I own. Yeah, I said it, because as much as I love my 2000X Beastman, or even the Origins one, or the vintage one, because I have that too, I can't do this with those. And I ain't no ACBA guy, but I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. This pose is badass. So with that being said, if you are at all a fan of Masters of the Universe Revelation, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. I think he's a really awesome figure, super dynamic, fun to pose, really good articulation, and I think the cuts are a little bit better implemented on this guy than the other releases. He doesn't have a gnarly cut in the bicep to compensate for that double jointed elbow. It's pretty slick and pretty streamlined and pretty smooth for the most part. So yeah, probably him and Faker are like my two favorite fun figures in this line so far. Skeletor wins aesthetic, but man, this line is kicking some major booty right now, if I do say so myself. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we've got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And don't forget to check out Eltenda. Again, I will leave a link in the description below to his channel so you could check it out at your own leisure. And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But remember, keep calm and civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.